The number one communication trick to stop argument in a marriage fast. You ever walk into a room, open your mouth to speak, and your wife or husband looks at you like you just interrupted their favorite TV show, even though the TV isn't even on? Before we continue this short video, don't forget at the end to register for our 72-minute masterclass on fixing and recovering broken marriages in 45 days or less at www.getmymarriageback.com with the link in the description box or button around this video. So that awkward tension, that cold silence, that was the atmosphere when one of our clients first reached out to us. Tunde told us, "Ola, I swear, I was just asking her how our day went. And she looked at me like I asked for her bank password." My friend, welcome to the battlefield of broken communication in a marriage. And no, you're not crazy. You're not alone. And yes, there's a way out. I'm Ola, one half of a partnership with my wife Lola. After 11 years of friendship, 8+ years of marriage, we almost gave up on each other. The pain, the distance, the constant fight, it felt like there was no way out. But through heartbreak, trial, and relentless effort, we discovered something unique. We launched lolaanola.com in 2018 and co-authored the book Get My Marriage Back. Okay, we're here to help. We've helped countless couples, individuals, not just get their marriage back, but make it better. We're now at 17+, 20+ years of friendship. Let me tell you what happened with Tunde. He said every conversation with his wife turned into an argument, even past the sort. Sounded like an accusation. They used to laugh together, now they barely talk. He told me, "I just want peace, Ola. I want to talk to my wife without it feeling like I'm negotiating a hostage." So, what do you do when every word you speak feels like it adds fuel to the fire? Let's talk about it. But first, go ahead and hit like. Please share this with someone who needs it. Subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss what's coming next, because I'm releasing those videos now. All right, so here are 3 big lessons we shared with Tunde that helped him turn things around almost overnight, but definitely steadily. Lesson number 1, master the art of active listening. Turn it into an almost exact science. Now listen, pun intended. People hear just enough to respond, like they're just waiting in the corner of the boxing ring with their rebuttal, gloves on, bobbing their head like, I hear you, but boom, counterattacked. Ding, ding. That's not communication. See, active listening is different. It's not passive. It's not nodding while mentally rehearsing your counterpoint. It's not smiling while silently judging. It's not even about agreeing. Active listening is about hearing to understand, not to argue. In fact, most couples think they have a communication problem, but more often than not, what they actually have at the root is a listening problem. And the moment you start listening actively, something powerful starts to happen. You begin to collect data, not gossip, not dirt, not ammo for your next emotional ambush, but data for unity. Because let's be honest, communication isn't just about words. Talking is just one flavor. Silence, oh, that's communication too. The cold shoulder, that's a speech. The high roll, that's a hotel talk. That one-word answer, fine, loud and clear, translated, everything is not fine. The real question is, are you actually hearing any of it? One of our clients, Ada, came to us convinced her husband was emotionally unavailable. He never talks. She said, it's like pulling teeth just to get him to say how he feels. But as we worked together, it became very clear that every time he tried to open up, she'd cut in, correct a detail, had her version, or even worse, tried to solve his feelings like they were in a math equation. Eventually, we challenged her, just stop. Literally, just listen. No fixing, no defending, no multitasking while nodding. Just listen, like it's your job. She took the challenge. The next conversation, she sat across from him, made eye contact, and didn't say a word unless he asked a question. And guess what? The man talked, like really talked. He shared things he hadn't said in years. Why? Because he finally felt heard. Not judged, not managed, not policed, just heard. See, when someone doesn't feel safe to express themselves, they just shut down. Not out of spite, not because they don't care, but because every attempt to open up feels like stepping into a courtroom instead of a conversation. That's why James chapter 1 verse 19 of the Christian scriptures hits so hard. It says, and I quote, "Let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger." Notice the sequence. First, be quick to listen. Then, take your time speaking. Last, be extra slow to get angry. Why? Because when you lead with listening, you diffuse the bomb before it explodes. It's like this. If your marriage is a car that's been making weird noises, active listening is the mechanic's stethoscope. It helps you hear the problem, not just react to the sound. And trust me, when you get good at listening, really listening, you start to notice things you were completely missing before. Gentlemen, you should lead in this, by the way. That your spouse's sarcasm is actually a cry for affection. That their withdrawal is actually a sign of emotional burnout. That their nagging is really a desperate attempt to feel prioritized. Active listening helps you separate the what from the why. Now, here's where it gets deep. Most people think they are listening when they've actually just been tolerating. They are letting the other person talk, waiting for their turn like it's a debate class. But love isn't a debate. It's a dialogue. It's a dance. And dialogue thrives on one thing: safety. When your partner feels like they can talk without being punished, they'll talk more. And when they talk more, you get insight. And when you have insight, you can build unity. And when there's unity, that's when the real healing begins. So here's what I want you to understand. Active listening is not a soft skill. It's a survival skill in marriage. It is one of the most underestimated but high return investment you can make in your relationship. It costs you nothing to listen, but it could cost you everything if you don't. It will cost you emotional intelligence, of course, but now I know it's not easy, especially when emotions are high and patience is low. But the truth is, if you want to stop the arguments, avoid the constant bickering, and actually resolve conflict before it escalates, active listening is your number one strategy. It's the unspoken, underused, underrated superpower of every thriving marriage. So if you're watching this and you're in the middle of a communication breakdown, if every conversation turns into a battle or ends with silence, this is your sign to stop talking and start listening. Lesson number 2, stop trying to win the argument. Start trying to win unity. Let me ask you, would you rather be right, or would you rather be in love? Or would you rather have your partner love you? When couples argue, they often turn into courtroom lawyers. Who's got the best evidence? Who's more hurt? Who gets to slam the emotional gavel? But that mindset only guarantees one thing: somebody's going to lose. And in marriage, if one person loses, congratulations, you played yourself. You both lose. Sadly, the kids too. If children are involved, they also lose. See, the goal isn't to avoid arguments entirely. Conflict is natural. It's a sign of two different humans trying to do life together. The goal is to resolve conflict in a way that builds connection, not resentment. You know what helped another client of ours, Jide? He used to always say, "But I didn't mean it that way." And he would get defensive. I told him, it's not about what you meant. It's about how it was received. That's what communication is. If the message didn't land, it didn't fly. So Proverbs chapter 18, verse 13 of the Christian scripture says, "If one gives an answer before he hears, it is his folly and shame." So take a breath, ask questions, seek to understand before trying to be understood. And guess what? You don't even have to have an answer today. Lesson number 3, remind yourself that your partner is still your lover. When you first started dating, remember how you used to talk like homies, lovers, and friends, right? Somewhere along the line, you became just roommates, or worse, rivals. That familiarity, that see-finish syndrome, it makes you forget that this person you're arguing with is the same person you once couldn't wait to talk to all night. You know what changed things for Lola and me? We stopped assuming we knew everything about each other. We started dating again. That doesn't necessarily mean going out on actual dates. I'm talking about asking questions again, flirting again, even making fun of each other lovingly, of course. One day I asked Lola something to this effect: "Do you even like my jokes anymore?" And she laughed and gave me a smart ass answer to this effect: "I like that you laugh at them by yourself." Fair, but at least we were laughing again. So, my friend, here's the deal. Communication in marriage isn't about perfect words or avoiding conflict, and it's definitely not just about you talking to. It's about mastering the heart of listening, seeking unity instead of victory, and remembering that your spouse isn't your enemy. You have to be intentional with this. If you feel like you're talking to a brick wall, or worse, every word turns into a war zone, then it's time to switch strategies, don't you think? And if you want to go deeper and get the exact steps to rebuild your connection, even if your marriage feels hopeless or one-sided, register for our free 72 minutes masterclass at www.getmymarriageback.com, or click the link in the description, the caption around this video or bio. Let me ask you something though. Have you ever had a conversation with your husband or your wife where you knew halfway through that no one was going to win? What did you do? Drop it in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss an episode. I'll be right back with what to say to a distant or cold spouse.